In a land surrounded by desert, a single river gave rise to power, wealth, and one of the earliest states in history. This is ancient Egypt, Africa's first great economic and political system. Ancient Egyptians called their land Kemet, the Black Land, a reference to the fertile soils of the Nile floods plain. Beyond it lay the Desert, the Red Land, the desert stretching east and west, and the Nile itself, they simply called it the river, a narrow strip of life in a vast, unforgiving landscape. To outsiders, Egypt's dependence on the Nile was unmistakable. The Greek historian Herodotus described this as the gift of the Nile. Without the river, there was no agriculture, no surplus, no state. At the center of the system was the ruler, the pharaoh, a term derived from pharaoh, meaning great house, referring to royal palace. This was not just leadership, it was structured authority tied to land, production, and control. One of the earliest organized systems of governance on the African continent. Even the name Egypt tells a story of interaction. Later, Arab rulers would call it Masra, a civilization shaped internally but named and reinterpreted by outsiders over time. What made Egypt powerful was not just the presence of the Nile, but the ability to organize around it. Seasonal floods meant predictable agriculture, food production, population stability. From this came structure, labor systems, and long-term planning. The lesson is not about the river. It is about control, coordination, and the use of resources. Across Africa today, resources are abundant, but outcomes depend on how they are managed. Because from the very beginning, Africa's story has never just been about what it has, but what it does with it. Here's the Nile Corridor, the narrow stretch of fertile land surrounded by desert where this civilization took shape.